You get a shave or something?
Yes.
You look different.
Yes, I shaved.
You change. Decided to change.
Gotta change it up every once in a while. But yeah, I shaved.
Okay.
I didn't know I looked that different.
I'm sorry, it's too cold. You have to wait when the warm weather.
It was getting a bit too unruly, so I was like, let me just shave it down. I was originally going to keep my goatee, but I think I used the wrong like settings on my razor. So I ended up, it was too short. And I was just like, I might as well just shave it all off.
How's Jersey City? A lot of snow.
Yeah, the snow's still there. I mean, I forgot to shovel when it snowed, so my car's pretty much stuck. I don't use it, so it doesn't really matter. But it was just like,
Because of the problem with parking. I'm not using my car when I went to the Bronx, So,
yeah. The next time it's going to be above freezing. It's going to be next week.
Is
next,
it?
Yep.
yeah,
Supposed to
yeah,
stay below freezing?
Yeah.
yes.
It's going to touch like 31-ish, but definitively next Tuesday it'll be 38 degrees. But it's just so warm.
It's crazy, up and down, up and down.
Yes. I think this is probably the longest in quite a while. It's been below freezing this many days in a row.
I have been in Princeton Saturday with my friends. It was freezing, and icy snow.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello, Emily.
Everybody's good?
Yeah. I heard it was 39 degrees in Miami yesterday.
It was. It is. Right now it's 46.
Amazing.
We had a couple of cold spells.
You were talking all that nonsense, Emily, and now it's cool down there. Not cold.
Yeah, but it's gonna be 70. It's gonna be 70 by the weekend. What do you gotta say? Go ahead, Smarty. What do you have to say?
Oh my goodness.
That's
Emily,
what I
you would like to
thought.
join us? Please come. Yeah.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not. The cold doesn't bother me. It's the snow.
This is weird. What did I sent this invitation. Hi, Rosemary. Hold on.
Hi, everyone.
I had sent this invitation to everybody.
I don't think you sent the Zoom link to everyone.
You didn't send the right Zoom because nobody can get into that first one you sent.
All right. Really? All right. Let me hold on. Just tell people to hold on.
Yeah, send them the one that you just sent.
All right.
Or maybe just put it in the meeting schedule.
Hi, do you see the new Zoom link?
I'm looking for it now.
He just sent it out. Look at the one he just sent out.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, I invited extra people.
Hi, are you joining the meeting?
Yeah,
okay. Alex just sent out he just sent out a Zoom link, current one. So check check the email now, okay? Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right.
I invited Dr. Hines as well.
Yeah, I just called him and told him to look for the new
And Jasmine, I invited as well.
Let's see what Brian's at.
Oh,
Javon, yeah.
Javon is in office doing something.
Hey, did you get the Zoom link that Alex just sent? Oh, okay, no worries. All right, Brian's coming. Who else?
let's see.
Javon,
Yeah, Javon.
You
you
called-
logging in now.
Oh, okay. That should be everybody.
Is Latasha on?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Let me make sure that is one of you people Jasmine? Jasmine, are you on this call? No. Oh,
Is she?
no. Let me
I
see.
don't know.
No,
I
no,
don't
no. I'll
have.
send this to her. I did so.
Okay.
Okay.
He just sent it.
The same threat?
He just sent the email just now, like 5 minutes ago. Not even respond.
No, I don't know, maybe it was not.
What does that name say up top?
And I'm in
Yeah,
inbox.
that's bad.
It's not the best.
No. He,
Last one I
I'm
see
looking
was,
for
you said.
come on, baby.
Come on.
Oh, right there. The one that's about to be admitted.
Nancy.
Hmm?
Nancy,
Nancy, look,
Oh.
you did as well.
we can see.
No, not. Oh, I was,
No, I
oh,
cannot.
you-
I cannot. I'm sorry.
Nancy's there. Everybody should be here. Okay. I think everybody's on. Jasmine, you there? There she is.
I'm here.
Hi, Jasmine. Okay. No, thanks everybody for joining. This is an unusual meeting. We have a lot to discuss. We'll go through the weekly report as we normally do, but given the incident that occurred last week, I wanted to spend some time talking about that and how we can avoid that in the future. For those of you who haven't met or know who she is, this is Jasmine Russell. She is the new, let's say, part-time BIS person. She's been working for the past couple of weeks in our Empire location. She's been very helpful. She has already contributed with some observations and activity plans, and I think Latasha has ordered some items that Jasmine requested. And she comes to us with a lot of experience, and I hope that her role will expand. Let me go around the room and introduce people to you, Jasmine. So Sabrina, the person that's Nancy. Can you just sort of wave so Jasmine knows which person you are? Okay, that's Nancy Feliciano. Nancy is the director of our ComHab. Latasha,
I gotta close the door, right?
Latasha, you of course know, and is that Bryant? Is that you in there, Bryant? Okay, so that's Bryant. Bryant is the director of our Finley program. It's our largest day program.
Mark, you can sit here with me.
And then we have Javon, who's just come on the phone. Javon is the director of our what we call our West End program. That's his beautiful office that's in the background there.
As needed, it's not
Javon,
mandatory.
can you show yourself?
Oh.
Okay, wow, there he is. Thank you. And then lurking behind him very suspiciously is Mark Robinson. Mark is the director of our Day Have Without Walls program. I also invited Dr. Gregory Hines on the call. Dr. Hines is the residence manager of the residence where Jennifer lives. So he had a lot to say about this incident, as you can imagine. Emily, as you've met, is the HR COO person for our company, enjoying the balmy Florida weather. And you met, I think, by Zoom, Rosemarie. She is our CFO. So
Hi,
there's a lot of
Jasmine. A warm welcome.
It's a bigger meeting than normal, but and then in the room here with me is Jude Jackson. He is our compliance manager, and this distinguished gentleman here is Vlad Borsman. He is our I'll call him our chief inspector. He is very important to us now in that he goes around to all of our programs and notes things that need attention and so forth. So he'll probably be working closely with you in any case. So we all know
everyone.
we all know what happened. I'm not going to try to micromanage this meeting. Dr. Hines, first of all, how is Jennifer doing?
She's doing really good. She was doing better during the weekend. She went to the program this morning. Her ankle is doing much better. Very good spirits. Thank God, even when I went to see her on Friday, she was in very good spirits. That was a
Yeah.
major thing. So she's doing much better.
Any further word from her family or mother?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, we'll get back to you shortly. So, Jasmine, I would like to have you start off the meeting, if you wouldn't mind, just with some observations that you've made. I know that you're just getting your feet wet with this program, but give us some observations which you think would be useful to the rest of the managers in this program.
Right. So what I did share is that we do need to centralize the importance of structure for the people that we support. They're leaving their homes every day and coming to program. There has to be a purpose for them attending program. There needs to be a staff schedule that the staff are following to always have active engagement for the people we support. We don't want it to always be led by them. That we are going to be met with resistance. They may not want to always do group activities, but it is really important to keep them engaged, because with opportunities for engagement and a layout of expectations, it leaves less room for them to engage in behaviors. Boredom and not having as many variety for activities definitely allows for a lot more opportunities for someone to engage in maladaptive behaviors. In addition to that, we want to make sure that we're meeting the sensory needs of the people we support. So we're paying attention to the behaviors that they're engaging in that aren't disruptive. If someone is standing in the corner and they're covering their eyes and their ears, they are engaging in a behavior, but because it's not something as maladaptive as hitting or vocal stimming or anything else like that, staff may not be paying attention to it. We want to make sure that all behavior is being addressed. All behavior is communication. And if somebody is communicating that they're uncomfortable, we're providing sensory support for them. We also just want to make sure that we have staff arranged in a way that intervention can always be applied. We have a very unique situation where there's a very open floor concept. With there being the open floor concept, there should be an opportunity for everything to always get seen, but there have been observations and moments where I've noticed where a lot of things are just kind of flying under the radar. So we just want to ensure that staff are just always providing the correct amount of intervention. But that starts with a layout of realistic expectations. And the expectation is that the people we support should always be engaged in an activity. And if they're not engaged in an activity, the only other thing that they should be doing is eating lunch or using the bathroom.
Okay.
I
Anybody have? Go
thanks so
ahead.
much. May I say something, Alex?
Yes, of course.
Thanks so much, Jasmine, for bringing these ideas forward, and I really appreciate the thought that you have put into how we can better engage the individuals and meet them where they are. However, based on what you have seen, do you believe that we need to train the staff or provide more training for the staff to engage the individuals? Because we have activities that we are scheduling in terms of music and dance and art and different things. But in terms of, would you be able to assist with training the staff as to how to engage the individuals so they have something, they're not left unattended then for long periods of time? Because I find that maybe, as you said, individuals are left, unengaged, and then it opens room for behaviors. So, there are some activities that we thought of, but there are other activities that may, stimulate them a little bit that may not require anything that we may have to purchase. For example, I don't know, maybe, just little sing along or something. We thought about other engagements like maybe art or music or, piano or, something else, but small activities that maybe last a good 10-15 minutes. So you have them at different intervals that you'd be able to train the staff with, because I feel like maybe these are some of the missing elements on that at the locations.
So I definitely do agree. It definitely does come from staff, like being trained effectively and understanding how an activity should look for it to be run, because we can say, oh, you should be engaging in art or a sing along, but for what a sing along means to me and a sing along means to somebody else is going to be drastically different. So yes, we definitely should be ensuring that staff have that training, but training is only half the part. I can be trained, I can be educated, but I have to be motivated and understand how this is expected to be completed in order for me to actually carry it out. If I am well trained in art, but I don't really have the creativity on how I can get somebody to get started, or I don't really know what idea I need to be going in, or anything else like that. We want to ensure that we're training, but also providing some sort of guidance for them to be able to follow. So the schedule, I'm not sure if it was shared with you, but the schedule that I shared with Alex and Sabrina and Latasha is a very dry bone schedule, but it can be utilized with lots of different changes. So it just starts with things like morning arrival, making sure that everybody, settles in. And then after morning arrival, they do a morning meeting where staff just discuss expectations for what their classroom is supposed to look like or what they're going to do. And then it continues to follow just a few basic things, but that schedule can be followed on a daily basis and allows for interchangeability. So I do agree. Yes, training is very, very important, but staff need to feel motivated to do so. And in order to feel that, they have to also feel supported.
What is there an implication in anything that you're saying?
Well, I think that it starts from the top and then it works all the way down. So we just want to make sure that everybody kind of just has as much support as possible. And in order for that to happen, we just have to make sure that we're communicating, because I can't provide support or give you any guidance or any assistance on something that you're not communicating about. So if there are issues, if there's struggles, if there's an area, if anything else like that, you have to just make sure that we're communicating so that it can be covered.
So not to beat a dead horse, can you elaborate a little bit on what form that support can take from the
So,
manager?
if I'm going to be very specific, on my very first day that I was there, I observed Sahida, and she was engaging in a lot of maladaptive behavior. She was refusing to engage in any activities. She was engaging in a lot of things that weren't really appropriate for a group program. But the person that was providing her with the most physical support was Latasha. That's a supervisor. And it's not that supervisors aren't supposed to provide support, but there are a lot of other responsibilities that the supervisor also has to take care of. That would require that would require leadership and supervisors to delegate effectively. If you are ensuring that your staff are taking care of everything else underneath you, that allows for opportunities for the supervisor to take on that role and actually supervise. If she is one-to-one or only working with one of the most highly behavioral people at the program, that doesn't allow her to be able to provide support to the staff that needs support in other areas. If there's a staff member who has to step out for an emergency phone call, if there's a staff member who needs to step out for anything or any other reason, how can I, as a supervisor, be able to provide you with that support if I'm one-to-one with one of the most behavioral people here?
Understood.
Understood.
I think we can drill down on this a little bit more with just getting maybe a focus group
Yeah.
that can perhaps look at or maybe find ways to do impactful and effective training to staff. And I
Right.
believe that you have a very good coordinator there. Sabrina, she's pretty good and she's highly motivated. So maybe we'll see how the collaboration can strengthen what we have here.
Absolutely.
Can I just say something as with what Jasmine is saying? Because I agree, and we were there together. I watched her observe them, so I kind of knew where she saw issues at. I think that part of the problem where the managers are getting stuck with being on the floor more than they need to be and having direct one-to-one is because the staff are refusing to deal with some of the behaviors. So when someone comes in that have a lot of behaviors, the staff is, oh, I'm not going to deal with them. And then that's what's
Yes.
putting
Yes.
the managers in the problem. And that's what happened with Latasha, which is why in the protocol I also said that the managers have to get off the bus. The managers are starting to be, I understand we all have to play the role of a DSP at times and pull our sleeves up and do what we need to do. But it's starting to become their policy that the managers are the ones in charge of a behavior individual. For Soho, I assigned and said the manager can be the backup because he's the only male staff here.
Can I?
Jude has something to say.
I
Mhm.
think in regards to what you just said in terms of staff maybe not wanting to do things and probably using less rosy language than what you just said, Sabrina. I think with the managers, I think a big thing to realize too is at the end of the day, you are their supervisor, you are managing them, and unless you're asking them to do something illegal, immoral, or commit fraud, there's really no reason why a DSP should say, no, I'm not doing it. And if they don't have a good reason, then you have to take action as a manager to ensure accountability for that. I think that's the big thing as well.
Are we talking?
What I'm hearing, I'm sorry, what I'm hearing is managers are not speaking to the staff when they come aboard. What I'm understanding from what I'm hearing is manager is not, when a staff come aboard, there are directives that a manager gives to the staff. You cannot refuse to do your job. And that's what it seemed like to me. That's what I'm hearing is staff is refusing to do their job.
Yes.
They're telling you that what they're not going to do. And as a manager, you have to manage your program, and they're not allowed to tell you if it's within the scope of their job function. They are not allowed to tell you that they're not going to do this.
Can I ask, and you don't have to give names, but managers, are you experiencing this kind of refusal, or I'll call it what it is, insubordination among
Yes.
I wasn't asking you, I was asking the manager.
I'm telling you, yes.
Well, I'm asking the
Oh,
manager.
they report, maybe they report up to her, Alex. So that's why maybe she said.
They're not reporting to me. I'm hearing it from other people. They're not going to be, okay, manager.
All right, let me go around the room.
Go around the room.
Yeah, Latasha, are people
Yes.
rejecting your directive?
Yes.
Okay, are they saying, I'm just not going to do it, or are they arguing with you, or what's happening?
And they refuse, and what I do is they refuse.
Wow. Brian, are you experiencing this? You're muted.
No, I'm not experiencing that. No.
Okay. And
Javon?
Siobhan, what about you?
Yes, I have experienced that recently. Yes.
Okay. And Mark, what about your guys? Is Mark?
Mark doesn't have no.
No. Okay. So it sounds like two men. Okay. Well, that is a serious matter. And, first of all, it's addressed very plainly in our employee manual. And, if there are directives which your subordinates are not following and they're not illegal or immoral, you can take disciplinary action, and you need to take disciplinary action with those people. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with Emily and, take those steps. Because if that kind of thing takes hold, it's going to really damage the morale of the place, and it's going to undermine your effectiveness as managers. So please be careful of that. I wanted to ask Sabrina to touch on the busing, the whole issue. I mean, the dismissal protocol that was followed at Empire last week, which led to Jennifer's going missing, I guess starts with the type of management that there is, but it also seems like there is I'll call it a failure of dismissal protocol. So Sabrina, can you talk a little bit about the protocol that you
can you guys mute? Can you guys mute if you're not talking, because the background is, you can hear.
It's
Sabrina,
probably me.
You've only shared this with us. You've only shared this with us at this point, correct?
Right now, the managers haven't seen it. Only you guys. If you want to put it on the screen.
I'm going to distribute all these things after the meeting, including the schedule that Jasmine had recommended. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Okay, so guys, I created a bus protocol. I'm not sharing it, Alex, or somebody's gonna send it out.
I'll send it out. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But basically, it's saying that managers are no longer allowed to ride the buses. The managers are the safety check. No, Mario. Thank you. The managers will be the main people doing the safety checks. Managers are to be at the programs from the beginning to the end. When the bus comes in, the managers need to be there to make sure all the individuals get off the bus. And when the buses are leaving, the managers are to make sure that all individuals are accounted for. Brian or Latasha, can one of you guys send Javon a bus log? I believe I know, Brian, you're still doing them, but I want Latasha and Javon to start doing the bus logs so that we can document them once they're getting on the bus, as we used to do in the past. Also, all managers need to create an index card until we get the IDs, the RF chips, whatever safety devices we're working on. In the meantime, we need an ID card, flash card, type it up on a piece of paper, safety pin it, staple it, tack it, but it needs to be in the book bags that have their names, date of birth, addresses, emergency contact phone numbers. We are also in the process of redoing IDs. Javon was submitting his headshots. Mark, if you don't have all your guys' IDs, send in their headshots as well as you, Latasha and Bryant, so they can get their IDs. And this is emergency. There'll be no more trips. They're not allowed to go on any more group trips without the ID at minimum. So if you guys can get that over to, I'm not sure, I guess Vlad would be doing them
I'm
no
gonna ask you to speak
later.
about that. I'm gonna ask, when you're done, I'm gonna ask him to speak about that.
Okay, and then Vlad will tell you guys when he won it, how he wants, etc. Okay, so moving on. During the dismissal, it is to be 3 people at all times, which one is the manager and 2 staff. On all buses except for Empire, your staff are matrons. So you'll notice where it says staff or matron is to make sure the seat belts are fastened, the individuals safe, no incidents. The staff that is assisting the manager when taking them downstairs is to make sure that everyone have their coat on, they're zipping, they have their hats on. I personally have observed many of individuals leaving out with their coat not zipping or they don't have their hats on. But we know it's cold outside. Let's not leave it to them to do it. Make sure that all of their belongings, whatever they come to program with, they are to leave. I've been getting calls about book bags, lunch bags, etc. If they come in with a book bag and a lunch bag, they need to go home with the book bag and a lunch bag. If they come to program with devices, they need to go back to home or residence with those same devices. Once we get the IDs, the staff will be the ones to make sure that they come in with their IDs. If you pick someone up in the morning on the bus and they do not have the ID, please request their ID, else they will not be allowed to go out into the community. Other than that, there's just a reminder on this protocol saying that there should never be less than 3 staff dismissing the program on the elevator. If everyone cannot fit on the elevator, you wait until the next elevator comes. 3 staff per elevator. In most cases, maybe Brian, you may be a little different. You could give me your numbers, but for the most part of it, no program dismissed with more than 10 people per bus at a time. So the 2 staff with the manager and the 10 individuals should make sure that everyone departs safely. The head counts are done. No one is left behind.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Also, if a manager calls out, your staff should be aware that you are not coming in. You should notify your staff, so there should be someone in charge for the day that can take on the role of that manager as far as making sure the protocol for the busing is taken care of. Make sure that the staff is aware of what's happening on that day or for that day. If there's an event planned, if the CEO is coming over to do a video, whatever the case may be, the staff should be aware of what's going to happen on that day that you call out. Okay?
Yes, I'm sorry. And that is on there. I skipped it. I'm sorry. But yes,
Okay.
that is on there to make sure managers, if you call out, you are to have staff assigned that responsibility.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
I have
Vlad, go ahead.
one comment as well. We have an individual, a particular individual at the Empire location where she's accompanied by the manager. And I'd given that directive because there was no attendance with that individual. And it seemed to me that maybe she would adhere to Latasha's oversight. She was comfortable with that, or maybe Natasha had her way with her and it was okay for her to be with Latasha on the bus to and from. And so I'd given that directive, just so that we could have, maybe increase attendance, etc. Now that, managers will not be on the bus, are we comfortable looking at alternatives for that individual to be sure that either we discharge her because we can't support her, or that person, have a shadow, or mom and dad provide transportation to get them to and from programs? Is this
Well,
something that
one
So
of the
I
things
did
that I'm
speak
sorry,
to,
one of the things that Sabrina said was the day that Latasha, I think Latasha rides the bus 2 days a week. Latasha is to make sure that her bus is last, from my understanding.
yes,
The other bus take off, and then Latasha will ride with this individual. I understand there's 2 days a week that Latasha rides the bus, but her bus, the first bus leave first, and then her bus leave last after she does her check, if I'm not
yes.
mistaken.
Yes, it's in the protocol. In the event that the staff has to do the run, their bus is to leave last. If a manager has to do the bus run, yes.
I also do want to comment though, any individual that's receiving support should be able to receive the same level of support regardless of who's supporting them. Like that's very isolating to allow it to only be one person. Like what if Latasha has to go home? What if she
Well,
takes a
that's
day off?
Then
correct.
it's
Right,
Maureen.
right.
Then Maureen
So
usually cover for Latasha.
right. So we just have to make sure whatever Latasha is doing and implementing inside the van that allows Sahida to stay calm, the staff member is also trained on that same level of
Should
support
do.
because Tasha is also able to take a vacation or a day off or
Yes,
anything else like
Correct.
that. That's extremely isolating to only have
yes.
it as one person to be the functional person that can ride with somebody.
Correct.
I agree.
Okay. So on the subject of ID cards, you know that we have a machine in the office that we can use to create plastic cards. I'm going to ask Vlad to have some responsibility for that. So direct your inquiries and photos and so forth to him. We will work on the, and I'll work with you on this, on the acquisition of ID cards that have chips in them, which will allow us to track individuals. I know that's a bigger lift, but ultimately, if we can get that kind of card, as opposed to right, then that will help, and it certainly would have helped, we believe, in the incident that took place last week. Had that individual had a trackable item on her, we could have avoided a lot of this. Anyway, so that's it. Jude, is there something you would like to add?
Yes, there's one thing I was thinking about. I was talking with Dr. Hines about this, and one suggestion I was thinking about is regarding local like businesses and whatnot, knowing our individuals, because the buildings we're in, they all know we serve people with developmental disabilities. But I think it might be helpful for like local not like every single local business in the immediate area, but say like within like a block, 2 block radius, local businesses know, hey, we serve people with developmental disabilities, just in case they see someone that looks like they have a developmental disability, they can kind of call our agency and say, hey, you know this person's there, and then we have a quicker response time. I don't know. Is that feasible? Do you guys think that would be a feasible thing to consider?
I
That's an
definitely think
excellent
it's a
idea,
feasible
Jude.
thing. They're members
Excellent
of the
idea.
community, so they should be treated as such.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an excellent idea.
I want to also say that with the ID card, is it possible that we can write the individual's information in like their lunchbox instead of like you, Alex mentioned an ID card, or somebody had mentioned an ID card, but if we can just, when little kids go to school, how their parents put their information inside their book bag, like with a marker. Because
Yes.
I used to have one guy, Carlos, who used to go to Finley Day program. He used to lose his ID card every week and come downstairs to the office and say, Miss Emily, I need a new ID card. I was like, if you don't get away from me, I'm going to kill you.
So I agree with that.
Like
I
just
agree
print
with that,
their,
Emily.
like a, black marker in their lunchbox or something, because that's like a secondary protocol, a secondary way of keeping track of the individuals as well.
Yes, Emily,
Emily,
and
just to
actually,
add on
that's how they
to,
found. That's how they found Jennifer. Helped to find Jennifer too, because Jennifer was saying Jennifer Cabrera, but they couldn't understand what she was saying.
Right.
Inside her bag was written Jennifer Cabrera with black marker, so that helped them to assist in locating her.
Emily, also
So
here,
the only thing
Wait, everybody can't talk at one time. I'm sorry, Sabrina. Javon, we'll give you a minute. Go ahead, Sabrina.
So the only thing is with the markers, after a while, it start wearing off. That's why I
Yeah,
was suggesting like the flashcards, we put them in plastic and affix them in the book bag. But we do need the assistance of the residents. So I was thinking that at the managers meeting, we can touch on it more at the admin meeting, because the residents, we need them to affix it in the book bag where it doesn't come off. We can get the plastic, we can laminate the cards, we can do whatever, but we need it to be to where it doesn't wear out.
that's
We
As
do
fine.
much
write
as
their
as much
name
as we
in their
can
book
do.
bags and lunch bags, but I've seen how they wear off at
Okay,
times. So
that's fine.
Right,
Javon.
as much as we could do, as much as we could do.
thank
Okay,
you.
Javon.
For the one individual I have here, they actually put like the in his coat. There's his, I guess, pointer person from home. His care, I guess, his resident manager. Her name
Mm-hmm.
is there and the number is there in his coat.
Somebody.
So that's
Okay,
probably also an idea that we can consider too.
okay. I mean, we're throwing out ideas, but it should be like two ways of identifying the individuals. It was perfect that
Oh.
Jennifer had her lunch bag so that she was they were able to call Dr. Hines, which is great.
Yeah, Jude and Glide have something to say.
Yeah, Sabrina,
Okay.
if Sabrina's still there, regarding the suggestion I had, do you think it's possible for the managers to implement that this week, next week? Just like go to like a couple of the local, it doesn't have to be every local business, but at least within within the immediate, yeah, it seems like it. I'll send an email about it.
Yeah, go ahead, Vlad. What were you gonna say?
One more. Our ID card, we cannot provide a lot of information. Yeah. Because I remember when we type and do something. Specifically, if you're asking for addresses, this information, we have to definitely maybe print a different card, laminate it, and store or keep it on the lunch bag.
Yes.
But our ID card not allowed us to put a lot of information there.
Okay, Jude, Sabrina's back. You want to ask her?
Yeah, Sabrina. Regarding like making the local businesses aware of like the people we serve, do you think this is something that could be implemented within the next 2 weeks or so? You just go out to it doesn't have to be every single local business, but within the immediate area, like for example, Empire, the school, the deli nearby, Finley, some of the businesses on like I forget the street, 167 for whatever it is.
160.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then
168.
and then for Soho, like the diner and everything, just so they're aware in case, God forbid, an individual gets out of our sight again, they see them, they're like, oh, they come from that day program. Let's call them. Do you get what I'm saying?
That can be implemented. What I will say is at Empire, the Four Corners, the store, the schools, up to what's that? Metro Tech, up to there, they do know we exist right there. But I'm wondering, what can we give them that doesn't violate HIPAA?
Our contact information.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like our
Just give
contact
them
information.
our contact.
Yeah.
How do we identify to say, because we don't want any random person looking like they may just be a little confused, lost or something, and they calling us. So we just giving them.
We're mandated reporters, so it really doesn't matter. Even if they call us, we can, send out a bullet just to let somebody else know in the area, because just like our program, we want somebody to look, somebody from our program approach a business that we did not tell them, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, they may not belong to us, but they may belong to Life Adjustment Center."
Yes,
I really don't think that it really matters if they call us or not. But you can say, "Well, they don't belong to us; they belong to TCC across the street." Just
and then we could put that bulletin out to like IAC, because that's what we see with IAC often. That's how
I will
Yeah.
definitely write something up, and I will send it to all the managers.
If you
for
just
them
put it
to
on the
distribute
letterhead,
it.
if you put it on the letterhead in the event that somebody wonder, it's something simple. They'll probably put it under their register or whatever, or post
I'll
it.
have that
It should be
completed
good.
at all locations by Friday.
Okay.
I wanted to do a couple more things. There's going to be, we have to be out of the downtown Soho location before the end of this month.
Yes.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in order to make that happen. where you have to leave it broom clean, tidied up, and so forth. Anything that is left over there belongs to the landlord, or he'll throw it out. We are allowed to leave certain things, and I can discuss with you what those are. That's in our lease. But what I have said, and I said in a meeting on Friday, is that I would like Vlad to be the point of contact for arranging these moves. You agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what that means is you, Sabrina, Javon, and whoever else is involved in this,
Richard, yeah.
please, and Richard, please coordinate so there's no confusion, so there's no, unless he gets confused, with this move. There's a lot of moving parts. Sabrina, you have a question?
I did because I saw the emails. I know I was away, but had some downtime and saw emails. I was just a little concerned about, are we considering doing this move after hours? Because it's not really, once I clear out the storage room that have supplies and remove the what's garbage that's going to the trash, like one refrigerator, I'm going to label trash, one refrigerator will be labeled to come here. The Falcon, there's things that have to go to the trash. So I did say in that email that I want to go to Soho first. Let me say what's what.
Sabrina,
Sabrina,
let's
just work with Vlad, make sure he's.
Sabrina, once you label stuff and you work with Vlad, then we can make a determination whether we got to do it after hours or not.
Right.
So
Okay.
wait to see how everything put into play, but it has to be cleaned out for this month.
Right. Okay. Vlad, we'll talk. Okay, no problem.
Things to discuss. One, I want to ask Jasmine a question, and then for the cherry on the top, I would like Dr. Hines to make a comment. So, Jasmine, what can we expect from you going forward with the other programs, if you know at this point?
So far, I don't exactly have a timeline yet. I would like to implement a few more things as far as support for Sahida and for the other people that we support, just getting the staff to kind of recognize where they need to provide intervention and just ensuring that we're not addressing behaviors that are only disruptive. Because from my observation, it seems like almost everybody engages in a behavior. I do want to finalize a written plan for Sahida. And then I think from there, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable moving on to the next program. So I don't want to provide a timeline just yet because I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take. But I think that just getting staff to recognize behaviors and providing as much support as possible for Sahida will kind of be like my finalization. And then I'll feel more comfortable moving on.
Okay.
Can I just ask you one question, Jasmine? And
Yeah, of course.
Emily, Alex, you guys can feel free. One of the issues here, which is what brought me here today, that staff he called out today, so still have not been able to address. But I know you and I discussed plans. Until you get here, the plan that Matthew wrote is effective to be followed until you say anything different, correct?
Yes, because as OPWDD guidelines, if a BIS implements a plan, that is the plan and expectation. That is what is being expected to be followed.
Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't understand your question, Sabrina.
There's a situation here at Soho that I'm trying to address. I can't seem to catch the staff.
Well, you know what? Here's what we need to reference. Does she have a care plan? Because if her care plan says a different level of supervision than what the behavior support plan it says, that one is what ranks priority. Just for some context, the behavior support plan has has Sahida as a 1-to-1, and based off of my observation, her being 1-to-1 is not functional only because it further increases her behaviors. She's highly, highly motivated by attention, whether that be negative or positive. But because of the previous consulting BIS, he didn't do as many observations like physically as I did. He put her as a 1-to-1 based off of her behaviors. So I could understand as to why he put it in writing, if he just had an idea of her behaviors, but unfortunately it's not functional for her. So what Sabrina is trying to clarify is, because I have not written in a new plan yet, do they need to continue to follow the 1-to-1 protocol? If she has a care manager and the care manager has a life plan that has her writing for her level of supervision different from the behavior support plan, then the behavior support plan will fall second to what the care manager has written in the life plan. So I would reach out to her care manager, ask for a copy of the life plan.
This one is not about Sahida. That's for this program that I am at now.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, then I
haven't
can't
had a
speak on
chance
that.
to observe this one. But there is a staff that is saying, I'm not following that plan. That plan doesn't make sense, et cetera, when the new BIS come. And then, but as it stands, You have not walked through these doors. Whatever Matthew did put in play is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
stinks.
I
And that's
technically
just
don't exist at that place yet, so
that,
absolutely not. They should not be waiting for me to implement anything.
that's what I
But
figured.
if it's something that is not that you guys recognize that's not functional for the people that we support, I would cross-reference it with their life plan and see what their life plan says. Because their
And
care manager should be aware if there's an increased level of supervision, because that's technically an infringement on their rights.
right. Jude, maybe you can help out, but this was more of a in
Okay.
order to get him back to program, this is what Matthew did. It's a lot, and I don't really want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was a lot.
So
It
I'll
was a
look
lot.
at
Jude,
I'll look at his life plan and I'll follow up with
Yeah. Yeah,
to
I would
see
cross-reference the
which way
life
to
plan, and
go.
as long as it's not a safety concern or a safety issue, I would follow the level of supervision based off the life plan until I can physically come in and kind of provide more support.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
No problem.
And
Thank
thank you very
you.
much, Jasmine. If you have the opportunity to attend these meetings, we have them once a week at about this time. I think it'd be very helpful, for you to participate if you're able to. And the last person I'd like to hear from is Dr. Hines. Dr. Hines, has 5 of his individuals in our program at Empire.
6.
And he is 6, I'm sorry. And he is, intimately concerned with their well-being and is always, he's always attentive to what's going on in the program. So Dr. Hines, I know that you've had concerns about the history of the individuals in the program. What, and let's put a positive spin on this if you don't mind. What recommendations or support do you think would be helpful for your individuals from what you've been able to see in the program?
Well,
And this would
prior
apply
to
to
coming to
anybody.
prior to coming into the meeting, I made some notes that I wanted to address, but every single person addressed these issues already. I mean, Jasmine talked about the engagement. This is one of the biggest things that I've noticed, even before the program was on Chapel Street, from when it was on Empire Boulevard. When you go to that program, it looked like it was just like a hangout. Most of the times you go to the programs, it's supposed to look like a structured area in terms of almost like a classroom setting, and people work on certain things. But when I would drop in there, I would see staff and individuals appearing to hang out. So I said a lot of the things that we talked about would be extremely helpful. What was extremely telling to me was I had no idea about refusals of staff to do certain things or take directives from their supervisor. That's important in terms of all these incidents that we were having. The because Latasha having to work like the line staff and do all the extra stuff. There's a lot on Latasha right now, and I always speak to Latasha and I tell her, just reach out to me and talk to me and let me know because we have a good rapport. And I think with more people coming in, like Jude says he's going to go visit, Sabrina's there. I think all these things would be helpful to her because she can't do it by herself. Latasha has a real love for these individuals and it's quite evident. So I know that she felt really hurt about the whole thing, but she can't do it by herself. But there's still some things that can be learned. And the support for her right now is very, very important. Another thing is the communication with the advocates. What has been happening is it's almost like telling the residents to speak to the advocates. They need to have direct communication with the advocates. You know what I mean? Because example, Jennifer's mother. I am glad that Latasha didn't show up at the hospital because Jennifer's mother was ready, almost on the warpath for the day program. Because when the social worker was talking to me, the mother was like, "Oh, I'm tired of this. It's always happening at that program. It's a lot of unprofessional behavior and stuff like that." So when my staff member walked in, she was like, "Are you from the day program?" So they know I'm from the residence. She, okay. So and then I explained to her there's a lot of changes, and they tried to appease a lot of different things with the mother. We're working on stuff and blah, blah, blah. And she left in a positive way. I haven't heard anything else negative from the mother, but it's important that there's a constant communication between the day program and the family member. I know that the family member, it is a limitation with her English, but I understand from Jude that there's someone there that could communicate with her. So if that communication starts, it'll be extremely helpful. They'll start seeing us as an ally, and it would be a better relationship.
Can I say
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
So one thing I want to say as well is just that in this field, I think it's important to realize, I'm sure Jasmine and others can agree that burnout does happen very, very frequently in this field. It happens whatever level you are. You're taking care of another person. It's natural to get burned out. I think the thing on both sides is for staff to communicate that, but on the same time, managers have to also notice that there are signs. Like sometimes you can kind of tell by a person's body language what they're saying, that they may be giving 50% as opposed to 100%. And part of me wonders if this incident happens, if everyone at the program was giving 100% as opposed to like 60, 70%. So I think it's important just to see the signs of these burnout, address them, ask, hey, do you need a day off? Hey, have you used a day off? Maybe you should use a day off. Hey, what can I do to help you? Try to be more proactive in seeing those signs before it gets worse and it becomes like, because if you're burned out, you're just like, oh, I don't have to really think about it so much. She's going to be over there. She's not going to go anywhere, as opposed to always being vigilant.
That's absolutely true, Drew. And also, please, and to Latasha, please have a written paper trail with these staff that are refusing. Please,
Yes.
please
I'm
have a
I'm
written
on
paper
it,
trail.
Dr. Hines. I
Please.
truly just want to tell you I'm so sorry about what happened. I really, really am. I am gonna try my hardest to help Tasha be supportive, be an extra body. This should not have happened, and as long as I can, it will never happen again. I truly am sorry. We are trying to make a lot of changes across the board. I am on top of the staff with the refusals because I do not believe anyone should say no. They're not doing their job because that's what we get up in the morning to do from the hours of 8 to 4, 9 to 5, or whatever. So I mean, I may reach out to you to ask you for some assistance on
Definitely,
some
anytime.
suggestions or ideas,
I
but
I
actually
I
also
don't
started to
think I
draft
can
some
say
stuff on the
sorry
weekend,
enough.
so
I
anytime,
also
anytime.
think because I had a conversation with Latasha, she understands more so as to what she should be doing as far as when
Absolutely.
it comes to staff. So I
Yes.
Yeah.
think Latasha kind of got an understanding now that she does have our support, but in order for her to have our support, she has to do
Has
what
to-
she has to do.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I
But thank
think
you
with
guys.
all of us as a team, I think we'll be good. And I
Yeah.
am apologizing about the communication with the parents. I actually had a conversation with Jude about that today.
Mhm.
Me personally, I've always been under the impression if we have the relationship with the residents, we reach out to the residents. A lot of times we don't have the relationship with the parents. So I am going to request that all the managers put together their contact sheet again. I know we had one, we still should have it, that also includes the family's contact information instead of having to go to Dr. Hines that day to get the mom's information.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so to wrap up, I know that we haven't had a lot of conversations from the managers themselves during this meeting, but I hope you all understand that as with what Sabrina said, there are a lot of changes taking place in the day program, and I hope it's for the better. I think you're seeing a renewed interest on the part of the administration to try to support you, to try to put structure and communication where there wasn't any, to institute policies which will help you operate more efficiently. We really do want to support you. You have to do your part, and we
Well,
know that.
Alex, before you go, because it's a day have managers meeting that we normally have, do any of the day have managers have any issues other than what we talked about today that we don't want to underlook, that you guys may have
Yeah, I'm
something
not
that,
trying to overlook what you're saying.
yeah.
This
Do
this
you
was the
guys
part-
have
this was the
anything to
first issue that we
say?
had to discuss.
Brian?
All
don't-
my
I don't.
updates are there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, Javon is good. Brian, you good?
Yeah, I don't have no updates right now. Everything is
Latasha,
moving
are you
smooth.
good?
I'm good.
Nancy, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay,
And
go
Mark.
ahead, Alex. Mark, I'm sorry, where's Mark? Mark is always in the background.
Yeah.
Mark, are you good?
No, that's it. This was a key issue. We
So
needed to
Mark was
address it.
showing me that all his guys actually have IDs. Those who don't have LAC have an actual New York State ID card. It looks like only France needs a New York State ID. But
Yeah,
other
but
than that,
even with the New York State ID, Sabrina, there's no emergency contact in the
Contact.
event
no,
that, you know, if they
right.
fall out or something, or God forbid, you know, it should still, we should still have something with emergency contact.
Got it.
ID is
Okay.
good, but we still need something in the event that maybe is an accident or something. They need to be able to contact somebody.
Right.
One
Okay. I'm
word.
going to work on that with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Emily and Sabrina, would you just stay on for a moment? Everybody else is
Maybe.
excused, and thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Have a good
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
afternoon.
No
All
problem.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer.